more than the Lakers, every year pretty much the last 15 of LeBron's career, you're going to have a lot of rumors. You're going to have a lot of speculation, especially when LeBron appears to have a team that's right there on the cusp of being a championship contending one. That's just been the nature of LeBron's career. I've never been mad at it because the brother pretty much just said, yo, I'm going to maximize every year of my career and try to win. So we come up with all these rumors and speculation. The pressure's on general managers to make deals to appease LeBron. It's just how it goes. So the Lakers this offseason, we're hearing a lot of point guards be associated with them. What direction they will go, we shall see. But there are 5 point guards that we're really hearing around that Lakers organization. Let's put them on the screen for you real quick. Fred VanVleet opted out of this deal with the Toronto Raptors. He's free. Trae Young still under contract with the Atlanta Hawks. D'Angelo Russell, obviously the Lakers point guard here down the stretch. You got Chris Paul, who maybe will be waived in the upcoming days by Phoenix. And then last but not least, Kyrie Irving has been rumored around LeBron for probably about a year now. Kyrie apparently tried to get LeBron to come to Dallas with him, was the latest rumor we've heard of recent. So I'm going to rank these point guards from 5 to 1. If I were the Lakers, who would I prioritize going after? Not saying they're going to get whomever. I'm saying this is how I would do my list, 5 to 1 on a priority perspective for the Lakers this offseason. Number 5, I go Fred VanVleet. You know, he would be costly. It would likely include a sign and trade with D'Angelo Russell. You know, for me, VanVleet's undersized. And, you know, he's pretty much 1 out of every 3 games, just like D'Lo. If I already got D'Lo acclimated to my system, already gelling with the guys, he's played with a few of these guys that the Lakers were able to acquire with D'Lo for years now. You know, I wouldn't break that up for VanVleet. An undersized point guard is not going to fix some of the Lakers' liabilities on defense. I would leave VanVleet off of the Lakers list, and it's a long shot at best. It is out there, though. At number 4, I would put Kyrie Irving here because, number 1, you're going to have to pay Kyrie Irving a big bag, and number 2, he's a lot to deal with. If we're talking about a straight basketball talent, I would argue Kyrie would be number 1 on this list, but it's never just basketball with Kyrie. I mean, what are we talking about here? It's never just basketball with Kyrie Irving. It's a lot of other stuff. And now you would likely have to pay him a lot of money to go along with a lot of other stuff. Just doesn't make sense for a Lakers team to go backwards by signing a guy in Kyrie that over the last few years, once you get Kyrie, losing seems to come after it. I will leave Kyrie off of my list. At number 3, here's where it gets really interesting. I go Chris Paul. CP3 can tell the end of his story. We've talked about this on my platform many times over the last couple days. Chris Paul gets to dictate his future. If Chris Paul is still trying to collect a sizable paycheck from the NBA, then I would say the Lakers should stay away from CP3. But if he were to get waived, and Chris looks at the grand scheme of things, obviously with him having a home in LA, if it's about playing with Bron and playing for a semi-contender, which is what I believe the Lakers to be, I would strongly consider Chris, especially if there's a way where you could get Chris and maybe keep D'Lo. That would be ideal. It just comes down to where Chris is head at. I mean, he's getting injured often. It would literally be pairing up. You would be adding another injury-prone player to a team that already has got 2 guys that can get injured at any point on any given night of the season. It almost is fitting to add Chris Paul to this list of guys that they're great when they're healthy. He fits from a playing standpoint. I think Chris Paul and AD would be spectacular, by the way. But again, so many questions about them being out there on the court enough. Look, I would leave Chris at 3. Again, if you can get him at the minimum, take him in a heartbeat. But I'm not so sure Chris is just going to play basketball on the minimum. I don't think he's there yet in his career. We're hearing that he's not. Number 2 will be D'Angelo Russell. I mean, like I said earlier, D'Lo acclimated with this team. He will go away. But because D'Lo had some low lows in the playoffs, more lows than highs in the playoffs, to me at least, I would think D'Lo and the Lakers can work out a deal that just doesn't break the Lakers' bank. I would think there's a deal to be had from both sides. I think if D'Lo got on that open market, he would be surprised about the lack of interest in his services. Hopefully D'Lo and his team and the Lakers can get to a number that makes sense. He knows he plays great about one every 3-4 games. So hopefully there's a number out there that doesn't break the bank with the Lakers having to get Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves signed this offseason. And the number one in the hood, this is going to surprise some people. If the Lakers have a chance to get Trae Young, because there have been some ice trade to LA rumors out in the atmosphere. Obviously, Trae Young was present for a couple of the Lakers games during the playoffs. I mean, it's LA. A lot of people work out in LA. I mean, Trae Young doesn't really like Atlanta from what I've seen. So I'm not surprised he's on the West Coast enjoying some time. Hey, catch some basketball while I'm there. I think for Trae Young to get to LA, you would probably have to move off of AD. Obviously, that doesn't make sense. But if there was a way out there, a small way for the Lakers to package some players, maybe one of these guys like Reeves or Rui in a sign and trade, and Jared Vanderbilt would have to go as well. You know, I mean, we're talking about the Lakers. They would pretty much need Trae Young to tell Atlanta, I'm not playing for y'all ever again, and the only place I want to play is LA. Again, he has no trade clause. He's under contract. So it would be literally Atlanta doing Trae a solid in the midst of that as well. But if there was a chance to get somebody, even though it would literally put you as a star-studded lineup at the top and deplete your bench, Ice Trae is the type of guy that I would go after. I mean, if you look at his game, it fits not only the present, but going forward with the three-point shot. He is a guy that you could build around, even if, you know, LeBron starts to decline, or even if AD can't stay healthy. You could move off of AD in a year or two time and go get another big around that, or maybe a Giannis is available. He is the type of guy that makes a lot of sense in LA. You can never get Steph away from Golden State. Here's mini Steph. So that's the one guy. If there was a way to make that happen and make a big three, if I were the Lakers, I would go after Trae Young. But other than that, I think the Lakers end up landing back on D'Lo and maybe Chris Paul, depending on where CP3's at with it in his career. Welcome to NBA offseason 2023. You're in great hands with Hoops FERRO. There's no network behind me. There's no budget behind me. Just straight grind and hoops talk. If you don't want to miss a beat this offseason from trades, free agent signings, and draft talk, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Let's run these numbers up. It's free $99 to show me that you support the grind. Let's go.